It's the 5th of January.
Yeah.
The first Monday of 2015.
That's right.
And we have 360 days ahead of us.
Yes, we do.
Till 2016.
Yes, we do.
So we have a new program for today.
Yeah.
We have the week ahead. Now we have a new program called the week review.
Yes, the week review. So looking at what happened in the past week.
Yeah, because we have done the week ahead for a year now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And every Monday we will try to see what we have said and discussed and analyzed last week.
Yeah.
Do we have to tune a little bit?
See if we can make sense of what happened in the past week, which
All
is
right.
fine. Okay, we've had a second, we've had, the continuing saga of this student that has been taken away from her parents.
Yep.
This girl who was arrested drawing a chalk flower on a wall, the Lenin Wall, and obviously a sensitive site. Now the government's got most everybody cleared out. And so they took her away. And they've put her into a juvenile detention, what we would call JD, or juvenile detention home, which normally these are kids who get into trouble because they're dealing drugs or they're prostituting themselves or things like that. And she is put in with these hardened criminals. And this is probably not a good thing, right? The parents, of course, quite distressed. The lawyer, of course, is making the case that this is completely disproportionate to anything, and it just stinks of politics.
But I think the whole point is that is what we call the post-Occupy movement paradigm.
Yeah.
Post-Occupy movement paradigm. And the government is putting a very hard fist on these things.
Yeah.
Normally, I think chalk drawing on walls would not result in JD.
Yeah, it's chalk. I mean, my kids do it. It's fun.
You do it in the central government offices during this paradigm.
Yeah.
It will become very political.
Well, and that's the paradigm, and as you say, this post paradigm, and it means have we now definitively moved from a Hong Kong that was considered free and just and fair, and now we are into the political control paradigm? Is that the shift? It's like, all right, we're not even pretending to be anything other than what China is now, which means if somebody wants to get you, they can get you.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I'll give you another angle to this.
Sure.
I think the students deliberately use chalk, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not permanent.
It's not permanent. So they are testing the line. They are testing the line right now. So if you use paint,
spray paint's clearly vandalism.
It's vandalism. So
Yeah,
they use chalk.
Clearly.
They use chalk to create some sort of news. They want to spin this off, and obviously they spin that off.
Yeah.
And the government doesn't care.
Yeah.
Okay, if you use chalk, we are going to put a very strong fist.
Yeah.
To crack you down.
Yeah.
And I think that is sending a message to the Hong Kong people.
Yeah, and I mean they're using the social services, which is unusual for this one, right? If the police looked at that and said, "Are we going to be able to get a prosecution?" The police normally have discretion to say, "Come on, really? This is not what we consider a crime." But if you start using the social services, they can just say things, right? And so I'm curious to see what the legal process is for taking a child away from their parents, because I'm wondering if one of my kids does something like drawing chalk on a sidewalk, is somebody going to look at maybe op-eds that I've written and say, you know what, let's get that guy, and we've got an excuse now to take his children away from him. Let's punish him. And if that's where Hong Kong's going, I mean, that's a pretty grim place.
Well, speaking of this, we have another issue related to students.
Yeah.
The Education Commission.
Education Commission, in the Harbour Crossings column that we do at Harbour Times, we keep track of all the appointments and who's getting appointed to this and that. There were a lot of appointments usually made right at the end of the year to kind of take effect for January 1st. One of the interesting ones was a guy named Henry Tong.
Not Henry Tang.
Not Henry Tang. No, not that guy. He's not
Henry Tong.
But a guy named Henry Tong, who is a CPPCC member.
Yes.
And he has been appointed to the Education Commission. And, earlier on there were people from the CPPCC that were appointed to the Supervisory Committee for the ICAC, and people kind of went a little bit bonkers over that. But it is this continuing trend of kind of putting key Beijing loyalists in various bodies around town, and I think people are becoming more sensitive to that, especially with something like the Education Commission, National Education,
or patriotic education.
Patriotic education. Is it now, if you want to have any kind of a role in an advisory body or supervisory body in Hong Kong, the chief executive will pick loyalists, CPPCC.
You see, this issue, or this incident, is clearly related to the chalk incident that we have just discussed.
Yeah.
that it is a clear gesture that the government is going to explore all the ways to have more control in all aspects. We don't care about you use chalk or you spray paint. We are going to find ways. If the police cannot do it, we find the social welfare department to do it. Okay? And if the patriotic education or the national education cannot go forth as planned it, we will try to find CPPCC member to become members of the Education Commission.
We'll stack the commission with people that will give us what we want.
So they're trying all front. They're trying all the routes to achieve its goals. And it's not uncommon, though, for CY Leung to do things like this. He is actually quite well known for trying to get things done in all fronts. I mean, that's how he gets his chief executive position.
As a chief executive, right? You want to get things done.
But the bounce back could be worrying. And he is playing on that right now. I mean, this is an interesting one to watch. Numbers just came out today showing that more and more Hong Kong students applying to get into universities here are not coming through the government channels. More and more people are applying from IB education programs. Basically, people trying to get their kids in any kind of education system but the local one. And so you see the number of people going through local education actually dropping, and applications from other places rising because people are trying to avoid that. And the more they see things like this, the more they're going to try to get out of the system where they can. Well, politically, last week, there is this blank votes concept.
Also in the politics last week, yes, the blank vote concept. The idea that if you go down and if all the candidates you have in front of you are terrible, you can vote the meh option. Right? I don't like any of these guys.
Is it that option? This is not even fixed, you know.
Well, this is just an idea. This is just an idea.
It's not even fixed.
But the idea is that not only would you be able to vote nothing, but the difference between that and not showing up to vote is that if you have a certain threshold of none of the above, the election is rendered null and void, and none of the candidates win.
And I'm just thinking that this is a test the water gesture. Because Wednesday, the second phase of the constitutional reform consultation is going to begin. It's going to commence. So it's a test the water concept. But I strongly doubt, despite Jasper Zhang and even the Secretary of Justice said that maybe they can do it.
Maybe it's an option. People have done it.
But I don't think so.
I
don't think so. Can you bear the risk that the people nullify the election?
Well, nullify, but even a 40%, 30% no vote, which I think is quite likely, would be hugely embarrassing, hugely discrediting for the government.
Not only the government, but the 1,200 people nomination committee.
Oh, what a smack in the face.
They nullify the nomination committee. Which means that the 1,200 people are
not doing their job properly.
Are not reflecting anything at all.
So
I don't think they would take that risk. Not philosophically, but theoretically.
And I think the government, perhaps in this case, has chosen not to shoot down this trial balloon, but rather just have it kind of run out of air and fall off into a cow field somewhere and get stepped on and disappear. I don't think that one's going to fly.
Okay, so
that was the week that was. Because you think that week between Christmas and New Year's, not much happens, but in this town, there's always something happening.
Oh yeah. And I hope you like this new version of the Week Review. It's our new initiative for 2015. As you can see, this is a longer version of the week ahead. We don't focus on one word, but we try to do a comprehensive review of what happened last week. So it's kind of like a political cappuccino.
A little bit of a political roundup.
And then you boost up and remember what happened last week and get ready for today's political agenda, or this week's political agenda. Well, thank you, Andrew.
All right, so that was the week that was, and
stay tuned, and hours later we'll have the week ahead and talk about the political agenda for today, tomorrow, and the rest of this week.
Lots going on.